And hello, all my fellow nerds out there. This is Local Nerd Richie, and welcome back once again to Danganronpa Lapse. So last time, very major update happened. Cyrus Surik is dead. Ashley Westbridge is knocked out. Apparently, this was probably possibly supposed to be a double murder, but the killer failed. So, and the only person that is apparently suspicious in this case is Missy Vesper. So, and we don't know who, but we don't know who the actual killer is. It could be anyone who's trying to frame Missy. If you don't know what happened, and also if you don't know what happened last episode, I recommend you go and watch the previous episodes before to catch up to this one. But you have to promise me that you're gonna come back to this one after you watch them, okay? But anyways, we're here in the second trial. We're gonna be figuring out who murdered Cyrus and why. Why, or at least we're gonna try to logic our way out. And we also found out that our character's title is the ultimate memory, whatever that means. So let's get into it. I swear on my life I'll find the culprit. Forte and I left the infirmary, crossing through the elevator that connected the infirmary to the trial grounds. Heavy clouds hung over the dome glass ceiling. Everyone was already in their places as Forte and I crept to ours. Another murder. It was unreal. Cyrus's mild and unassuming demeanor made a 180 when his talent of ultimate charisma was revealed to be a ruse. He quickly suffered consequences, his sudden aggressiveness temperament coming to a full stop out of nowhere. And Ashley's worrying condition. What could have possibly happened in the two rooms that we found them in? However, despite our behavior Cyrus displayed, it was still shocking that someone would actually retaliate. Someone felt like a hasty overreaction. Then again, a hasty reaction was essentially was what essentially pushed Art to bring Pandora's demise. It was difficult to call Art the culprit after the lack of black and white intentions. But in the grand scheme of things, the rules of society were set to deliver retribution to those who commit crimes. Who's to say this place operated under the same conditions? The courtroom was eerily silent as we waited for Zero to appear. The atmosphere was justifiably tense. Lyle and Say shared a similar dark vibe. Cannon and Forte both looked unnerved, and Missy managed to put up a poker face despite the situation. Yeesh! It's about time you guys got here. And again, I have to say it. It's so weird how quiet you bunch are. Is no one amped up for another class trial? I put a lot of work into these, you know. Of course we're not excited, you knave. Missy is so mean. It's a shame no one's excited, but this ball's gonna keep rolling whether you like it or not. Class trial, all rise. Which means is in session. Let's go over the rules, shall we? You're all here to figure out who the culprit is of today's heinous crime. The rules are as follows. Discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group. Yep, we know the rules. I kind of understand that. Our victim today is Cyrus Surik, the ultimate charisma. Or, and also, I'm pretty sure I pointed this out before, but his name is a palindrome. Cyrus Surik is a palindrome. It's the same way backwards. More like ultimate nonsense. Was no one suspicious of his name and talent? I would be. It really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that charisma was not really his talent. Regardless, I called out his dribble last night, and look where we are now. You all were quick to take what I said to heart, huh? Well, I'm glad. Saves me having to get a motive set up and all that. So without further ado, discuss away. Don't mind if I do. Lyle, Missy, you think you know what I'm going to say, huh? Then say it for yourself. You think I'm a suspect. Oh, gold star. The point is moot. I'm not the culprit, and that's all I have to say on the matter. And why do you expect me to just roll with that? Because if you all vote incorrectly, then we'll all be in danger. Prove my innocence or take my word for it. Missy, what's going on with you? Don't you think it's a bit much given the circumstance? I have my convictions. I'm refusing to share my alibi for my own reasons. And yet you don't fear the consequences? You're ridiculous. I'll lay it out all nice for you, okay? And then we can discuss whether or not or not holding your tongue is the wisest thing to do in this scenario. Consider the facts. You were not partnered with everyone. You refused to share an alibi, and you were the one who had the gun in the first place. Do you know what killed the victim this time? A gunshot. You likely proposed traveling in groups so that you could operate on your own. Isn't it? Isn't this all too damning not to be true? Despite her dangerously challenging Lyle, I held my belief in Missy steadfast. I wanted in all sincerity to trust everyone involved in this horrible game. But considering the who have been murdered, the two people have been murdered, one executed and one attacked, it was becoming difficult to justify my stance. I didn't understand. What was there for Missy to hide? You know what? Forget it. I'm taking charge of the discussion. Once again, I can rely only on myself. Echo, you're a walking record of events. Tell me why I shouldn't think Missy was alone during the crime. Walking record? I'm not some encyclopedia of evidence. Or canon, if you have some sort of weird photo, fess up. Echo or canon, I don't care. One of you ought to pipe up with something we can work with. It can't be possible that neither of you two saw anything. Oh, here we go. Lyle has his sights set getting on something out of me in canon. But as far as I know, neither of us could have seen anything. Shut up, Lyle. I have no photograph of the sort. But when we arrived on the third floor, we didn't see anyone else in the halls. I was in the garage with Forte for the majority of the afternoon. Yes, as soon as we heard the first shot, I suggested we retreat to the garage and blocked entry from two doors, the main hall door and the art gallery door. As for me, after two shots were fired, I found myself stuck in the art gallery. The third floor activity rooms can't be locked. Cannon and Forte blocked the garage side doors. And the main side doors were just inexplicably locked? Wait a minute. Hold on. Say, can you recall what happened when we met earlier? Before we discovered Cyrus's body, that is. When we met, you came tumbling out of the gallery when Lyle and I arrived on the third floor. Yes, but I couldn't leave the room from the inside. Oh, yeah. Lyle, when we arrived at the third floor, there was a banging coming from the gallery. I couldn't check to see who or what it was inside until I unwound the rope that bound the double doors together. Confluence. Nice. See, Lyle, there's no way either Cannon or I saw anything that happened during the crime. If anything, Say and Lyle's whereabouts ought to be grilled as well, since they could have more questionable actions than us. That's right. Missy said you were alone in your personal room for a portion of this morning. Yes, she declined the invitation to my morning announcement. Yeah, but later, after I heard two shots, I poked my head out, only to get dragged out of my room by Lyle. I, I was investigating the mansion. I figured if anything fishy was going on, I'd have a witness with me to back my testimony. Well, nothing happened to us in particular. At least I had Say there to support my alibi against during the gunshots. Despite that, you were acting suspiciously this morning, smashing the ovens and all. Lyle, don't you think you yourself were an explanation for what you were doing? Huh? I don't need to justify anything I'm doing. I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Put in this evil game to solve it, inside out. If if you If you all have any faith in your ultimate talents, you'll have faith in mine and my goals as well. I don't care if I break the rules, it's all part of the plan. I'll avenge Art, and I'll stop these killings. I'm solving this game on my own, come hell or high water. But didn't it occur to you that I'm on the same agenda? What? There aren't any stakes for you, Missy. Art was the only person I've encountered that made my talent worthwhile. I can only trust myself. I'll work alone until I can grasp the solution with my own hands. Only then will it be real. Everyone involved, you're all just pieces of this puzzle. Phew, what is this guy even saying? The good old Monokuma Theater theme. You're an oddball, Lyle. Thanks for reminding me. Reminding you of what? I don't have much power outside the courtroom, believe it or not. He mostly controls and monitors all that outside boring stuff. But I knew you'd all eventually end up back here soon enough, so I just had to wait. Wait, what? Ah! With a sharp snap, the trial walls slam open, reveal a large metal hexagon adorned with a crooked, cruel-looking M. Oh, I think I know whose eye that is. Lau crumpled to the floor as we all backed away, astonished at whatever invisible pain was being inflicted upon him. Sonic weapon. High-powered sound waves from me personally to Lyle. This is what you get for fiddling with my door trap. Ah! I think Lyle's brain has been fried enough. There's no fun or suspense to be had in killing you myself, unless I'm executing a culprit. Don't mess with my stuff! Somehow Lyle remained standing. Please, we must move the discussion along. Unless we face a similar dangerous fate, we need to discuss it. Shut it, Missy. We're here because of you. Lyle was livid, fighting back against collapsing by will of sheer force. I'm taking control of the discussion this time. Echo, I need you to recall as much information as you can about the murder weapon, the gun. What? Who do you think you are demanding such things? I am Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzle master. Need I say it again? I'll solve this case just like I solved all the puzzles that have come my way. Your memories are a tool for solving this, and I'll be damned if I don't use something as instrumental as that. Get to it, Echo. I don't have all day. Alright, I'll try to relay what I remember to you all. Lyle might have it out for Missy, but I'm going over the timeline so timeline could help us put her in the clear. Think it would be best to start from when the murder weapon was revealed. Maybe we can trace who had it in the final moments. Who was originally possessing the gun? Oh, Missy. Missy Vesper was the one who initially revealed the gun this morning. She said she woke up in her personal room with the gun given to her as a test to see whether or not she belonged to the preservation project. Missy called me and some of the other students. Okay, I believe it was Ashley, me. It was other students. Ashley, Missy, Cannon, and Lyle. I don't think Lyle was there. It was Forte, Ashley, Missy, and Cannon. Missy assembled a small group at this meeting. There she brought the existence of the weapon to our attention and discussed her intentions with the gun. She would not cause any harm with it. The group consisted of Forte, Ashley, Missy, and Cannon as well. Everyone at that morning meeting agreed to place an implicit trust in our peers. Missy left the gun in the foyer. After the meeting, Missy left the gun in the main foyer, wrapped in the cloth she had been carrying it in. After discussing the existence of such a weapon, something happened. We discussed the existence of the gun among other things, until we were interrupted by a sound of something coming from the kitchen. Our whole group went over at once to see what was going on, and there we found Lyle, destroying the kitchen oven as a means to test the rules. Lyle announced that he would solve the killing game and went to the 3rd floor. Lyle said he would solve the killing game and absconded to the 3rd floor to look for more clues, all while clutching the secret note from yesterday. He left the kitchen and took the elevator up as the rest of us remained in the foyer confused. Shortly after, Cyrus appeared at the top of the 2nd floor, causing someone to act. Shortly after Lyle departed to the 3rd floor, Cyrus made an appearance at the top of the second floor stairs. Missy went up to confront Cyrus by having a conversation with him in the jazz club. The rest of us went to investigate the third floor for an escape route. I believe it's worth mentioning that Cannon and Forte went up first, with me and Ashley following afterwards. None of us took the gun. Hmm. From the looks of it, Missy and Cyrus's conversation in the jazz club is a gray area that none of us were privy to. Care to explain yourself and why we shouldn't be suspicious of a private altercation moments before the murder? I was attempting to extract information from him. As you all know, he was acting intensely suspicious yesterday. However, rather than avoid him, I thought to take action and confront him head first. You mentioned this before, but can you explain why you think he's putting on a facade? I mean, for all we know, every word out of his mouth could be a lie. Body language. Huh? Body language? It seems Cannon noticed it as well. Cyrus's body language gives off the impression that he's tense, and if he were being pressured or under stress, actions speak louder than words after all. That's true. I think I did think he looked a little more foreboding than usual. Ultimately, did you get anything from him? Unfortunately not. He was just the same stubbornly cryptic person as he was last night. So that's it? In Echo's recollection of people involved in the murder weapon, whose name came up several times? Missy. So, don't you think your course of action would heavily imply that murder's intent that led to the circumstance? Yes, signs are strenuously pointed towards me being the one behind it all, but I don't wish to divulge the reason behind those actions. I didn't want to admit it, but was beginning to have my doubts about Missy. But if this discussion is worth anything, it had to be a test whether or not I could really trust Missy. She revealed a gun after all, and asked us to tactically trust her. Should I even trust her to begin with? What if she was just goading someone on to be incriminated so she could get away with it? Should I trust Missy? I don't know which one I should do. This. I thought there was like a page turn, but nope. I just have to scroll. Okay. Right. Should we trust her? I feel like the unlikely option is yes. We probably should, because even though it's all pointing to her, we should trust her. I want to believe in her. This means scrutinizing. That meant scrutinizing her actions to free her from suspicion. We couldn't afford to jump conclusions. If I may, I think we need to turn over as many questionable facts as we can to lift suspicion. I agree. The evidence is unmistakably painted with Missy's name, but I'm still not convinced she would have malicious intent to kill Cyrus. Missy was the one who suggested splitting up to find things that could threaten Cyrus into talking, but she made it clear that she never had any intentions of firing the gun. Is that so? And it was after she had her conversation with Cyrus in the morning. Our morning group of Cannon, Forte, Ashley, and myself paired off to investigate the third floor for an escape route. After some time, Missy met up with me and Ashley outside the garage to talk about Cyrus's weird behavior. It was then that she discussed with Ashley the idea of threatening Cyrus to talk. This was just before the shots began. Then it's clear that she used the opportunity to act alone and retrieve the gun herself to shoot Cyrus. How would bringing that up lift suspicion from Missy? If anything, it's more damning proof. That's my cue! Argue? Just a minute, please. What I don't understand is this. Why would Missy kill Cyrus if she didn't get the information she wanted? I can only assume that following for her case, she made an attempt to have a civil conversation with Cyrus, only to walk away empty-handed. The motivation is lost, and there shouldn't be any reason to threaten him further in the case. Oh, sure. Make something up for it in her defense, will ya? I can't doubt Missy now. She's the one who made the bold move of bringing the gun to her attention. Now I have to trust that she didn't do anything wrong. Here we go. There's no telling what transpired between Missy and Cyrus. Seeing all of us witness her contentious interaction with him in the jazz club, it might take some work to get Lyle on the other side. Missy could be lying about not getting information, just like how she's withholding her alibi. Give it up. Why should we be protecting the culprit? Missy is the only Missy is the one only with the Missy is the only one with actions of glaring noteworthy suspicion. If you can prove it, then by all means. This could be all part of her plan to lead us in circles during the discussion with her lofty admissions. All right, so it's one of two of them. Protecting the culprit. I feel like it's this one. Okay, that's not it. He has a point. Oh, wait. Is it? Okay, wait. I just skipped some dialogue then. Hold up. Okay, let's see. Oh, whoops. Wait, can we go? Wait, can I scroll back? I cannot scroll back. Okay. Hold up a second then. It's not necessarily protecting the culprit as it is trusting Missy. Missy didn't have malicious intentions. That's nonsense. There's no hard proof in something like trust. If we blindly trusted everyone who just asked us to, nothing would get done. Shoot, he has a point. Trust can't be used to prove anything at this stage. Hang on just a minute. We need to discuss every aspect of this case before jumping to any conclusions. I believe there is something at the crime scene that could clear Missy of suspicion. Then out with it. Kiosk. Missy doesn't have any connection to the broken kiosk. Wait, what about the blowtorch? Okay. The gun. Oh. It's the only thing I could think of, but I need to spin this into an argument somehow. Although it has been noted several times that the gun puts Missy in a dangerous situation, there's something strange about the gun. Contest. Lyle say, there's something I want you to recall from me. Before discovering the body, you two ran into Missy on the third floor main hall, correct? Yeah. That was right before I helped you out in the art gallery. If that's the case, I want to ask, did you see blood on her hands? But blood on her hands? Nothing of the sort. If you didn't see any blood stuck to her hands, but there was blood stuck on the handle of the gun. If Missy really did kill Cyrus by shooting him, why didn't she just have blood stuck to her hands when you saw her? You wouldn't be able to forget seeing something so shocking like bloodstained hands. Ooh. Simple answer. Missy could have washed her hands. When Say and I approached to the third floor, I saw Missy exit one of the personal rooms. She refuses to share her alibi because she must have been plotting the crime with an accomplice on the third floor. That's why she was acting fishy when Lyle and I ran into her. Huh? I thought I heard something like that outside the garage doors. Oh yeah, that conversation. I heard parts of the conversation just before I called for help. Now that I think about it, I think I can figure out who was speaking at the time. Lyle, you must be a raving madman if you think you can run around this building alone. I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm doing everything I can to get us out of here, unlike the rest of you. And what were you doing poking around in one of the third floor personal rooms anyway? How did you even get there? That is none of your business. So you heard that. Yes, Say and I caught Missy in the act. She was poking around in one of the third floor personal rooms. Now how do you suppose she entered the room? She entered that room using the residence bracelet. How else would she have gone in? The door was still intact, so it's not like Missy broke it down. The resident's room bracelet. How could she have acquired such a thing? You can only assume whatever Missy and Cyrus talked about earlier must have to do with the fact that she acquired something couldn't possibly belong to her. In fact, the idea alone of her entering someone else's room is cause for concern. That's true. How did she enter someone else's room? The mechanism for her room entry lies in her personally assigned bracelets. Similar to how the bracelets grant access to the kiosk functions, the doors must default to being locked and only unlock when we're nearby with a corresponding bracelet. There, the bracelets on our person can't unlock doors that don't match, so Missy entering a room that is not hers implies she gained access through alternative means. What alternative means? What else? She was witness speaking to the only other student here that has been revealed to be associated with the killing game, Cyrus. Fine, I yield. Cyrus offered me the bracelet of a student was closely acquainted with. Out of morbid curiosity, I was told to visit her room. Missy withdrew a small rose gold bracelet similar to the ones we all wore ourselves. So yes, not only do I have the bracelet in my person, but I do have a bracelet that does not belong to me. As for what I discovered in the room, well, that's as much as I like to say. And that's more than enough. There we have it. That explains how she gained entry to the room, as well as a list of reasons for her to retaliate against Cyrus. If that doesn't pin Missy down for the motive, then I don't know what will. She had such a thing this whole time? How was I supposed to defend something like that? So much evidence is stacked against Missy. Despite the overwhelming number of incriminating facts against her, Missy remained unflinching. It's like she was just waiting. Waiting for what? For us to act on her behalf? Out of trust? Remember, I'm about to use the gun to threaten him into talking. Make no mistake, I have obviously no intention of firing it, but Cyrus doesn't need to know that. If Missy's being withholding about her alibi, then there must be a reason behind it. I'll have to try to work with it rather than against it. I have to trust Missy's intentions. Therefore, I should try to construct an argument that doesn't involve her. Is there another angle I can approach this by? Before we learned of her activity in the room, we were in the middle of disputing the bloodstained gun. Lau has been aggressively utilizing the connection between Missy and the gun for his argument. But let's say we take her out of the picture. Say she never came into contact with the gun. Perhaps we can tackle an argument from a different side. With just the gun solely in question, we can ask, who really handled the gun? Who handled the gun? Fine. We entertain the thought. Given the bloodstained handle on the gun, whoever held the gun must have stained their hands in the process. Wait. I don't like where this train of thought is going. There can only be two people who handled it. Cyrus and Ashley. So there we have it. Echo, do you think Ashley is capable of killing? What? No way! Ash would never! After all, I'm certain she knows the dangers of killing someone. Her own life would be on the line. So what? This is the only only explanation plausible if we take your position of Missy's innocence into consideration. If Ashley's life were threatened, don't you think she would retaliate? Anyone would fight back. Fight or flight, Echo. There were clear signs of a struggle in the smoke lounge after all. That can't be. It can't be it. Besides, you confirmed it yourself. We recognize that everyone has an alibi. And we've been neglecting to talk about Ashley since she's unconscious. Wait, no. So if you really want to stand by Misty being trustworthy, then you have to realize there must be someone else within our group that killed him. No, Ash doesn't have a motive either. Yes, she does. Echo, think about it. Throw away your relation to Ashley and think logically. Just because she isn't here to defend herself doesn't mean she's immune to being suspected. No. No, 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 no. My head was pounding. I began to feel dizzy. If Ashley had the rope when we were together on the second floor, and there was no rope to be found at the crime scene, she must have bound the double doors of the gallery. Say confirmed that the rope kept me locked in the gallery. Ashley yelled out and left to confront. Something. If you think about whoever handled the gun, it can only be those two people. No. No! I don't want to think about it. Please, stop this. They don't want to discuss Ashley's involvement due to their close relation. But there might be something important that we're missing. Wait. Something important that only Echo knows. Wait, are we playing as somebody else? Echo is guarding something. But they've painted themselves into a corner. There's no clean way to get out of this mess. Wait. Yikes. Echo, you good over there? Wait. Can't accept this. If Echo refuses to understand that Ashley is the only person who is capable of handling the gun and shooting Cyrus, then I'll have to lay out all the pieces for them. Puzzle pieces as always. Echo, let me discuss the facts. All of them. Every unsavory, trifling matters that will come to play, just like when you were the one who noticed Art slipped up. If you insist on protecting Missy, there's one person whose actions remain to be scrutinized, and Ashley is the culprit in question. Do I have any objections? I apologize, Echo, but this topic cannot be ignored. Yeah, this is pretty important. The rest of the class remained silent as Echo glared a hole at me. Wait, are we playing as Lyle? No way that we're playing as Lyle now. Are you kidding me? Dude, this is Danganronpa V3 all over again. We switched perspectives from who we thought was the main character. Again, let us begin with the weapon, the mysterious gun that came from Missy's possession. Seeing as the gun handle was stained with blood, we could surmise only two people were in contact with it. As they found on the crime scene, both Cyrus and Ashley had blood stains all over their hands, which naturally leads us to believe one of them fired the gun. I can concur with that assumption, as for how it came to appear on the third floor. Just before the gunfire occurred, Ashley and I hatched a plan to confront Cyrus. I was to use the gun to show of a threat. However, when I went to retrieve it from the foyer, it was missing before I had got to it. It's plausible Cyrus got to it before you. Regretfully so. In that speculated time in question, Cyrus was the only possible suspect to have initially retrieved the gun, since Echo, Ashley, Cannon, and Forte were elsewhere. Now, I believe we can all agree, based on the sounds heard, there were 4 shots fired in total. In that case, we need to determine the order and relevance of each shot. Ken and I boarded ourselves in the garage on the 3rd floor after the first shots rang out from the smoke lounge. We sheltered ourselves inside from there on out. And Lyle and I partnered up on after the second, but we were all the way out on the 1st floor. So we could determine these two shots were not the life-threatening ones. Since no one was within the vicinity of the smoke lounge, there were 2 gunshots in the wall. However, between the 2nd and 3rd shot is where Ashley's alibi becomes problematic. Refute! You're wrong! There's nothing wrong with Ashley's alibi. I can verify for her. I was with Ashley from when she went to the 2nd floor to the climbing center, as well as when she went to the 3rd floor. I never let her out of my sight. The entire time we were traveling up and up the stairs. What clue proves Echo and Ashley were separated? The rope. Argue. You're missing a piece in your argument. Wait, didn't you say Ashley shoved you in the art gallery just before you heard the third shot? The rope binding the doors proved that there was a moment where you two were separated from sight. It's possible that she entered the smoke lounge in that time frame. In that case, the fourth and final shot ought to be the one that killed Cyrus. The only person left without an alibi, given Echo's testimony of the culprit last movements. The only person left is Ashley. That can't be it! No, Ash. Ash yelled Missy's name. It's possible Missy was within the vicinity of the smoke lounge. Is there anything that proves Missy was not within the vicinity of the smoke lounge? Loudon says account. Argue. It! Wait, that's not possible. Remember, Lyle and I saw Missy exiting a personal room. She had just come out of the personal room when we arrived only to begin to act suspiciously. I suppose I have to surrender holding my tongue. Yes, I was withholding my ally earlier, but the point of secrecy is past now that my whereabouts have come into direct question. I kept my alibi secret to prevent beginning today's deliberation with immediate worry and disillusion. I confess Cyrus bestowed upon me a terrible gift. This bracelet. It allowed me to access a room that was not mine, a room belonging to a close personal acquaintance, one I hold in my thoughts often. I entered the room upon Cyrus's taunting instruction to see that I see for myself what's become of this person. I discovered nothing, save for my fears becoming reality. My alibi is simply as follows. I did not leave the third floor personal room. I gained entry to after I heard the second gunshot. Therefore, I did not see Ashley on the third floor at all. Took long enough to get that testimony out of you. But in that case, Ashley really is the only possible person to have encountered Cyrus in the smoke lounge. Therefore, we can assume that from the appearance of the room that Ashley and Cyrus fought in the duration of time being between the third and fourth shot. No way! The smoke lounge was in a constant state of disarray, but the casino wasn't. Ashley's body was found in the casino, so it's possible she never even set foot in the smoke lounge. No, there's no visible evidence of the two fighting. Echo knows very well there was clear signs of a strife. Glass. A new tactic is in order! Echo, your judgment is clouded, and I think you know that. There was glass and blood littered it near Ashley's unconscious body in the casino that could have only come from one place. The casino itself was spotless, free of signs of struggle. The detritus leading from the smoke lounge to the casino, however, tells a different story. With all these facts in mind, let's review. We discovered everyone's paired alibis, Missy's room activity, and Echo's entrapment in the art gallery, in relation to the gunshot timeline, frees them from suspicion. We also determined Cyrus was the one who was initially wielding the gun, and that Ashley had plans to counter Cyrus's scheme. In a small period during which Ashley and Echo were separated, a struggle occurred between Ashley and Cyrus in the smoke lounge, just across the hall, resulting in the disorderly state of the room. And yet, at the end of it, one person came out alive and the other dead. Echo, you have to see that the culprit behind this is plain as day. What? No! Ah! Face the facts! There's only one possible answer. I refuse! I don't even recall Ash considering Cyrus a threat, so what motive would she have to kill him anyway? Echo, why are you lying? That couldn't be further from the truth. There must be anyone else involved. Anyone but her. Jeez. Echo, you really are a stubborn one. Don't you understand the danger we're in? Please, Echo, I understand this is a painful realization for you. We are just as mortified that such dreadful thing has happened. It's awful, but there has to be a reason, right? No. If there is a reason, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would Ash endanger herself like this? Throwing her life away like this? It seems so careless. There was something else that needs to be brought to Echo's attention. Gasoline? Hmm. Kyo's message. Allow me to widen your depth of field. I believe I have an answer. Or rather, we all do. It seems Echo didn't see the kiosk message. Kiosk message? Remember, the digital kiosk can deliver dictated messages across other kiosks in the building. That's correct. Hannon and I saw the message as we waited out the gunfire in the garage. This message was dictated from the smoke lounge sometime after the third shot was fired. I recall I recall it read "Kill Echo." Yep, that's exactly right. And no one asked you. I remember now. Lalo and I saw the second floor kiosk light up while we were running by. Come on, you heard the gunfire too, right? So far, there have been 3 shots, but where the hell did a gun come from? How should I know? Hey, slow down! I can't keep up. We can't take our sweet time in a moment like this. Lyle, look! The kiosk is displaying a message. Hill Echo, Cyrus Sirik. Smoke Lounge, that's on the 3rd floor. I never saw such a thing, but it's awfully damning in what it's implying. I concur. It's quite a pointed message. In that case, we can assume that Echo might have actually been Cyrus's intended target. Echo, Ashley didn't endanger herself out of carelessness, but for your sake. She threw her life into the fray to keep yours safe. Then, then there should be little doubt that the fourth shot must have been the one to kill Cyrus. The shot fired after Ashley left Echo's side. I, I don't understand. Why for me? I'm, I'm not like the rest of you. I'm no ultimate student. I can't survive this strife between ultimates. I don't have skills or talents to offer the world. It should have been me at the opposite end of the gun. And me? The voice of Eve interrupted the looming courtroom silence. I have an update on Ashley's health. She is steadily recovering at the moment. She, she's okay. However, I discovered traces of Complex 53 in her system. Complex 53? Is that is that not the very substance Zero threatened time and time again to release? Yes, I examined the bracelet in her possession, and it appears the glass vial has been shattered, allowing the liquid state to enter her system via absorption through skin. Shattered? It's plausible that it broke from some kind of impact from Cyrus and Ashley's fight. Just a minute. The bracelet in her possession? Is it not her own bracelet? It is not. She had in her possession the bracelet of Silva Prower. Ashley's bracelet is still intact. If she had Silva's bracelet, then there's no doubt she had a clear motive. That it's possible she was goaded on by Cyrus with the bracelet of an important figure, just as Missy was. No way. Cyrus probably broke the vial himself and administered the liquid to Ash during their fight. Or Zero could have unleashed it to harm her. Zero's killing game announcement was always about toxic gases, so it's plausible he's the one behind it. Damn it, Echo! I'm tired of this. You still refuse to accept the reality of the case. Zero can't have done it. I'll tell you why it's simply not even up for debate. I was testing the rules early this morning, right? Rule 4 states that breaking major assets is strictly prohibited, but nothing happened all day. It was only until the beginning of this very trial that I suffered the effects of Zero's sonic weapon as punishment for breaking the rules. If he waited until we entered the trial grounds to punish me, why not just unleash the Complex 53 toxin if there weren't any signs of Ashley breaking the rules? Ack. Zero. Did you or did you not release Complex 53 onto Ashley? What? I'm the only arbiter of this game. Answer. Nope, didn't do it. No, this can't be. You still don't get it. We've been running around in circles in this trial because you vehemently refuse to face the truth. Don't you have any value in your life? Your lapse in judgment is what will get us all killed. Hey, look at that title drop. Danganronpa lapse. Get it? Oh, wait, also like a lapse in memory, because ultimate memory. That makes sense. Lyle, have some sympathy, won't you? But I have to agree with you. Echo, you please, this trial is difficult enough to participate in, but it's necessary to determine the culprit for our safety. Allow yourself to be selfish and act on self-preservation instead of the well-being of others. Don't concern yourself with protecting me. Don't concern yourself with speaking for Ashley. You'll only end up hurting yourself if we judge this case incorrectly. Just follow the truth, and you can protect yourself. Dude, this is getting a lot of Danganronpa V3 vibes. Not gonna say anything because spoilers. Play the game for yourself. But oh my god, this is giving me so many Danganronpa V3 vibes. I know we're asking a lot since the truth isn't what you want to hear, but please protect myself. What did that mean? Oh, now we're in Echo's POV. I thought I had to protect Missy on behalf of trust. She placed her faith in us after all. I had to protect Ashley because she's my closest friend, but myself? I felt stuck. I know Missy didn't kill Cyrus. I just know it. And it was impossible for anyone else to have killed him, so the answer is clear as day. I just didn't want to accept it. But by doing so, I was drawing out this trial for my own self-indulgence and dragging everyone else through this hell. I've forgotten the reason we're here to save ourselves, and I purposely suppressed the fact that there was something on the crime scene that solidified Ashley's involvement. Wait, do I have to pick it? Something that was in her hand? I saw the damning thing, and I chose to forget it. Yes, the weapon was undebatable. The culprit had a motive. The struggle showed traces of her involvement. The person who fought Cyrus and eventually won was Ashley. It's only Ashley. No. Ashley Westbridge killed Cyrus. Ashley. Oh, she's awake. I'm going to take this lulling conversation to assume that you're done discussing the case, yeah? After all, it was pretty obvious in the start. Well, whatever. This is your space anyway, so without further ado, it's voting time! No. I thought she was gonna last longer than this in the game. No. I'm so sorry, Ashley. Ding, ding, ding! Yes, the culprit responsible for the murder of Cyrus Surik is none other than the ultimate jockey, Ashley Westbridge. And almost all of you voted correctly. Luckily, majority rules, so it's punishment time! Class trial adjourned. Wait, what did you mean by that? Almost all of us voted correctly. Oh, well, I guess it's my fault for not mentioning that the voting is a big no, that not voting is a big no. But voting should be common sense. You should have responsibility to make your voice heard. Like lives are on the line, or something like that. Missy would know. Don't rope me into this asinine argument. Think of it this way: you're voting for the lesser of the two evils. Punish one person for committing a crime and punish everyone for being ignorant. But I could see in Echo's face that they figured it out, so I suppose I'd call it a vote. Aren't I the nicest, most flexible judge ever? Echo, you didn't vote? How could I? Unbelievable! Everyone's lives are at stake, and you are still at the audacity to protect the culprit? You're a hopeless case, Echo. I don't understand how you fail to recognize the weight of our actions. The truth was glaringly obvious, yet you continue to turn away. You have no perception of consequence. How dare you refuse to give your all in order to save yourself? Why are you attacking me? That just happened to my friend. It's awful. Don't you know how I feel too, Lyle? We've already lost 3 friends. Why does the cycle keep turning? Of course I know how you feel, but it's pointless to let things spin out like this. That's why I'm trying my best to solve this killing game. I don't need you to turn the cheek away from reality. That will only make things worse. Damn it! I looked over to Ashley, who recovered enough strength to join us in the courtroom at, at the last moments of our discussion. Ash, I don't get it. To protect me, you threw yourself in danger. And look where it got you. The foot of execution. Ash, you're such an idiot. How could you do something so careless? Echo, I thought about nothing but your safety. Huh? All I ever wanted was the safety and health of my friends. But look what rotten trouble I get everyone into. First Silva, now Echo. Maybe it's better like this. Echo, you don't have to worry about me anymore. Thank goodness, right? If I was in that trial, you would you wouldn't have budged and you might have voted Missy off instead. At least you know you can trust her. What are you saying? I thought that if I could remove the threat from the horrible game, my actions would have been all worth it. But it turns out Cyrus was just asking for this. Cyrus and Silva's bracelets are as a show of threat that the reason he had it and Silva didn't because Cyrus had said that he eliminated him. Isn't that right? He said the same to me when I received my additional bracelet. Cyrus, ultimate confidential informant, knew things we would soon rather forget, and he used that information to get under our skin. I told you, he's someone to be wary of. So Ashley essentially lost us the preservation project mole? What what if he had information that could have gotten us out? Oh, he had information all right, but he would never tell. Cyril's right. When I confronted him to inquire about his facade, he kept dodging my questions. He was acting so odd. And it appears his strange behavior went all according to plan. He was acting suspicious to invite someone into attacking him. And I completely fell for it. But I felt terrible after because when he collapsed, his aggressive facade faded and he laughed. He was glad. Yes, Cyrus fully intended to take someone down with him. Cyrus fired those initial two shots to draw attention. I arrived on the 3rd floor with Echo. I ushered Echo into the art gallery and bound the doors with rope from the climbing center. I confronted Cyrus in the smoke lounge, and he fired right away. The third shot was near miss. Cyrus, not a step closer, Ashley. Unless you'd like to end up like your friend Silva. What do you know about Silva? Uh, I know everything there is to know. Financial records, personal records, etc. After all, I'm the ultimate confidential informant. My job is to seek information about the preservation project subjects. I personally saw his removal. And you're next. Not if I have anything to say about it. Yeah, I'd act fast if I were you. You you wouldn't want to go down in flames without getting the information you want, would you? How did his racing helmet end up in your room? Why, by yours truly, of course. And his personal vehicle is a 94 Lister Storm, the very vehicle is in the garage right now. Ooh, Cyrus threatened me with an awful trinket and a time limit he repaired split gasoline and had a blowtorch ready to burn the room if I didn't act. I had I fought to keep him at bay. He eventually dropped the gun. I retrieved the gun and gripped the handle fiercely, but Cyrus remained completely cool. He noticed my hesitance and silently tossed a tiny rose gold bracelet in my direction. I snatched it out of the air and turned over the hands, revealed the name engraved into it: Silva Prower. What'll it be, Ashley? Silva didn't have a long. Quiet! I didn't get to read that. Silva didn't have a long time to live anyway, so why not just expedite his demise? This isn't right. Why put us through this awful game? For the sake of the future? I'm not an ultimate student. Let's play a game. There's two more bullets somewhere in that chamber. If you fire and I live, I'll let you walk away scot-free. Your hands will be clean, and you you were meant to be an ultimate student, born to benefit the world. If you fire and I die, then of course you know what happens. But in his last moments, he just let out a chuckle and a sigh of relief. He looked relaxed. He looked as calm as when we first met him. I was confused. Why wasn't he fighting back at all? You're a tough nut to crack, you know. What are you doing? I'm trying to save you. I know I took a chance at the shop, but there has to be another answer. She tried to save him. The Preservation Project is a miserable eh, organization that I contributed to. I rallied this group of alternate students, compiled all the information I could about you all, and for the project. Project is their game. It's a cruel experiment, all for the sake of the future. Why are you telling me all this? So you wouldn't feel guilty about killing me. But how could I not feel guilty? There could have been some other way to get you out of this mess, Cyrus. I don't understand. Why did it all have to come to this? Because I thought I had immunity from the game, but when Zero called me out for my cover talent, I knew something was wrong. Why would Zero, an arbiter for the killing game conducted by the Preservation Project, wish to reveal my place in the game? Something was wrong. It's all wrong. This whole game is all wrong. I couldn't wrap my head around the thing he was saying. I didn't dare wish to know what he was thinking about, but what's wrong? Heh. He coughed out a small chuckle. This I made you do a horrible thing. The problem in this game is that you became attached to to the ones you're with. As time goes on, bonds are made with strangers you eventually come to call your friends. I should have never involved myself with you all. I couldn't meet his eyes. I knew it would be too painful. And you might hate me for this, but it's for the best, for you and for me. Winning the game is nothing but smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry, but thank you for helping me escape this game. He held my he held my hands with in his own trembling grasp, weakly pushing my attempts at stopping his suffering away. After I shot him, I knew immediately what a terrible fate I found myself in. I was tethered to meet the same end the moment I fell into his trap. I fled the scene, leaving it a mess, because I knew it would be pointless to conceal the truth. But even then, I knew the trial discussion would trace back to my incrimination. That's why I went so far as to shatter the vial of Complex 53 at Silva's bracelet to take myself out of the picture. Ash, why would you do such a thing to yourself? It's awful. I know. Please don't hate me. And forgive me for making such a selfish request, but all I ask is that you live and survive. I did it all for you. Oh, that's sweet. Too bad for you. Sickly sweet sentiment isn't going to save you from your execution, silly. Murder is murder. What's the thing you say? Oh, there's no gray area about it? No, wait! There's no stopping this freight train of despair, Echo. You were among the ones who sealed her fate after all. So sit back and enjoy the show. No. Damn. Okay, we do get some animation. Ashley's hand slipped from mine through mine. She disappeared into the black as I collapsed over myself. All I could do was pull myself up to keep focused squarely on Ashley, as her horrified visage was projected for us to grimace upon. I tried to soak up my final moments with her, even though I knew that they were going to be gruesome. Ashley was chained to a metal post, with industrial whirring spun in my skull as a set of arms began to wind up. Clenched at the clenched at the end of each arm was a horseshoe. Ashley Ashley was bound to in a direct path across the masquerading machinery 40 feet away. Ashley's expression was taut. There was only one way out of this game for her, and it was winding up in front of her, just a few paces away. The first pitch was thrown. The light clink as the arm released a horseshoe made my heart drop. It missed with a full thud on the dirt behind Ashley. Second, third, fourth, sixth pitches were thrown with abandon, as if purposely missing to prolong her own suffering. Anticipation was miserable. Ashley's gray, sorrowful eyes seemed to meet mine within a projected screen. Couldn't look any longer. I felt sick. I turned away in agony and heard the distinct sound pitch of a bone crack. Ashley Westbridge, Ultimate Jockey, execution by horseshoes. I could feel my life drain from my body. There was nothing but pain during her last moments, that pain that destroyed her body, and the pain that stung in her heart. Oh, it's so satisfying building up all those hope and cheer to eventually strike it down with a decisive kill. It is a little boring though. You participants killing for defensive reasons. We didn't even give a motive, which was a bit of a curveball, but interesting that the murder occurred nonetheless. Well, I mean, I suppose I did put Cyrus on blast for conniving with the preservation group. He got in, he got in the way of the game after all, so I guess it was beneficial for me in the end. The whole trial made my head spin. I felt wretched. I stared at the floor. Not a breath was heard from the others. They seemed just as stunned into silence. In the depths of our devastation, Eve's silvery voice crept in. I beseech you all keep the memory of your friends close. It's awful. I don't want to remember this. Remain strong. As I nursed Ashley back to health, she kept asking aloud, is Echo okay? Is Echo okay? She cared for you until her last breath. Don't think for a second she didn't put everything on the line for you. But why me? I apologize. I cannot say for certain what she was thinking, except Ashley, without a doubt, cared for you deeply. As difficult I as it is, cling to what remains of Ashley. Her memory. Really? That's all you have this time, Eve? Some empty sentimentalism. You know, Eve claims to be on your side, but look what she's done. Why not just leave Ashley to die of the complex 53 poisoning, Eve? Well, I know why. Because you love reveling in their despair too. She nursed Ashley back to health so I could kill her. Act. Ashley returned to us, only to be cruelly beat, only to be cruelly beaten to death. That moment of that shred of relief, it was so quickly quashed, and it was so quickly mutilated to twisted dark feelings. How pathetic! You'll never end this game like this. You'll fail once more. Despair will triumph over hope yet again, Eve. And it's all your fault. Zero and Eve warped away, and the courtroom was engulfed in sound darkness once again. Echo. Missy's voice was a whisper. She laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Hey, let's get you out of here. I listlessly followed Missy out of the courtroom. Everyone else filtered out of the courtroom at their own pace as well, dissolving into their own individual lost thoughts for the evening. Without a single word, Missy led me down to the living quarters hall to my personal room. Before I entered, Kenan stopped me out of nowhere. Ahem. I I realized that must have been hard for you, Echo. But here, just take this. Kenan handed me a photograph. Aww. Oh, that's so sweet. It was a photo of the students gathered in the atrium. This is really sweet of Kenan. A little out of character, but it's sweet. Everyone was in the photo except me and Kenan. I took this photo on the first day. It was after the first Killing Game announcement. After the Killing Game announcement? I recall the moment in time. I went to my personal room for declining Ashley's invitation to use the spa lounge with Pandora. Bert insisted that I work my magic. And ours, ours insisted that I work my magic and take a photo of the group since we'd be staying here together as friends in this mansion. Despite that awful announcement, he still wanted to take a neat and pleasant picture. I'm a little embarrassed of it. I don't often photograph groups, but... Oh, it's so cute. It's so sweet of her. I hope this helps ease your pain. Why would you show me this? What do you mean? I I don't want to see this. This idyllic scene of our friends who aren't with us anymore. The killings are too vivid in my mind for me to believe a simple photograph. I hate this. I'm sorry. I was just trying to help. Oh. Hannon tore the photo in half. Happy? Hannon spat her final remark at with a huff before sulking off, her footsteps heavy on the carpet. Missy picked up the pieces of the photograph. That was awfully cold of you, Echo. What do you want me to do? I mumbled. I have nothing to offer the world as an ultimate student. I can't do anything. I feel like I lost myself in that trial. I had to detach myself from the people I care about. For what? The truth? I just scoffed. After all, it was Missy's fault a gun was introduced to the group. It was her fault the gun fell into the wrong hands. Her fault I lost Ashley. Missy sighed softly. It was never my intention to get Ashley executed. I I shrugged Missy away. I didn't want to listen to her. I went to my personal room. I sat on the bed. I sat and cried. Art and Ashley, they did a horrible thing for their friends. But pressed, the two of them only thought to protect the ones important to them. What an interesting concept. It's completely idiotic, though. They disregarded their lives for someone else. Selfless and stupid is what they were. Selfless gets you nothing in return. In a game like this, you have to be selfish and act in self-preservation. Always look out for number one. Number one, number one, number... Whoa. 10101. Whoa, 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 hold up. I need to screenshot that. I need to screenshot that. Hold up. I'm gonna have to translate that. Chapter 2 end. 6 students remain. Damn. This that was a wild that was wild, honestly. That was really wild, but I think this is a good place for us to leave this video here. We're about to head into chapter 3 for the next episode. So be sure you stick around for the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. And I'll see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason.